Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 10 starts now.
A man is dead after a blaze breaks out in a Rockford home. What crews have found out so far and where the investigation stands. A Boone County organization is raising funds to help some of the most vulnerable residents. How showing off your Hot Wheels helps keep kids on the right track. Good evening, I'm Alexis Carpello. First responders are investigating what led up to a serious crash this afternoon. We don't have all the details yet, but we do know the React helicopter was called to the scene and a motorcycle was involved. The helicopter landed on Meridian Road, north of West State Street. We'll continue to update you on what led up to the crash. A man is dead after a blaze breaks out in a Rockford home. When fire crews arrived at a home on 9th Street Saturday morning, they saw smoke and flames coming from the building. A woman outside told rescuers a person was still trapped in the house. Fire crews tell us they found a man in the room where the fire was burning. He died. The house was heavily damaged. Red Cross is assisting with emergency housing for the other resident. Fire officials say the fire seems to be an accident, but they're still investigating. A man is behind bars for yelling racial slurs at a woman and 2 kids. It happened Saturday evening in South Beloit on Perry Avenue. South Beloit police officers say a man was yelling racial slurs at the family. Police also say the man was also making threatening motions and gestures to them. After further investigation, police identified 43-year-old Bradley Gumow as the suspect. He faces hate crime and resisting arrest charges. Gumow's next court date is set for Monday, September 13th at 1:30. A crash sends 2 Winnebago County Sheriff deputies and a tow truck driver to the hospital. It happened this morning around 2:15 at the intersection of 7th Street and 1st Avenue. Investigators tell us Winnebago County Sheriff deputies were responding to a crime, driving with their lights and sirens on, heading east on 1st Avenue. A tow truck was headed north on 7th Street. That's when the vehicles collided. The truck driver was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. 2 deputies inside of the police vehicle also had minor injuries. They all were treated and released. Illinois State Police is conducting a follow-up investigation. Monday, we'll learn if the Byron nuclear power plant will be saved. We told you about this last week. Thursday, Illinois House Representatives passed an energy bill that would help save the state's nuclear plants. That bill is heading to the state Senate on Monday. A local senator I spoke with is confident the bill will pass. We'll keep you updated on the decision on air and online at mystateline.com. A local nonprofit is raising money to help care for some of the most vulnerable kids in Boone County through a car show in Belvedere. Rachel Perry was there today. She explains how the organization is helping dozens of kids right now.
Because if we don't speak up for the children, who will?
A Boone County nonprofit organization is advocating for abused and neglected children in the court system. Kathy Albrecht is a court-appointed special advocate for the organization.
Just someone to speak up for them is what I wanted to be. I wanted to represent, and because it just breaks your heart, some of these stories do.
The nonprofit is raising funds through their 5th annual car show, and Albrecht came in style, showing off her 1979 Volkswagen Super Beetle.
Had the bug in me, and I said in January, I said, you know, I've been thinking about that bug. He goes, I think we should get it. I love pink.
In Boone County, CASA serves 100% of abused and neglected kids. Dr. Derek Prado tells me those kids are in the court system through DCFS.
Right now we have about 80 kids that we care for. We have about 23, 24 advocates, volunteer positions. We're always looking for more advocates to do it.
He's also the organizer of the event and says nearly 50 to 60 vehicles showed up.
Cars, motorcycles, trucks, everything from, we got this really old Beetle behind us right next to a brand new Lamborghini.
Prado says he just likes to help others.
It's a good cause. It's unfortunate that kids are in the court system. They shouldn't have to be. They're kids. They should just be able to be kids. And so if I can do something to help, then I want to do that.
Reporting in Belvedere for your home team, I'm Rachel Perry.
Roscoe residents are resting up after a weekend full of festivities at the Roscoe Fall Fest. The fest started on Friday at Leland Park. Roscoe Fall Fest is one of the longest running festivals, with the first one being held in 1910. This weekend, residents enjoyed games, food, and even a parade. Organizers say the fest revolves around giving back to the community.
We try to raise money to make other people's lives better. I mean, that's our goal, and I think we're pretty successful at it.
Find more ways to donate in future events by looking up this article at mystateline.com. A biking tradition keeps rolling in the Forest City. Today, dozens of bikers came out for the Cycle on Second ride. Bicyclists rode on North 2nd Street from Auburn to Walnut Street. The event is free. Young and old participated. It wasn't a competition, just a moment to enjoy the ride. Those there could even ride the course more than once. And it was a birthday celebration today for the nation's oldest World War II veteran.
Happy birthday, Mr. Brooks.
Lawrence Brooks turned 112 years old today. He's from Louisiana. The World War II Museum and his family threw him a big party outside his home in Central City that included the Victory Bells local brass band, a socially distanced Jeep drive-by parade, and the North Shore Wrangler Association. In World War II, Brooks served as a support worker in the Army's 91st Engineer Battalion. A reminder to check your carbon monoxide alarms after multiple people died and more hurt in after a leak in a Chicago home. Jenna Barton shares more on the incident.
I feel so sad. I mean, I don't think that was going to happen.
Overwhelming grief for the family and friends of the two women who lived in the basement of this home at 22nd Place in California in Little Village. Neighbors say the victims are a mother in her 70s and her daughter in her 50s. Firefighters believe carbon monoxide killed them. A neighbor called for help just before 2 this afternoon, concerned about the smell of gas.
And an initial search revealed that they had 2 victims inside of the basement.
And Acting Deputy District Chief Barry Garr says the carbon monoxide in the basement measured 20 times higher than what's considered a safe level.
Upwards of around 200 parts per million and above, which is a fatal dose.
He says firefighters found more victims upstairs, an adult and 3 children, rushed to Stroger Hospital where their conditions were reported to be stable. Neighbors say that family lives in a separate unit. They aren't related to the 2 victims in the basement, and they've been a part of the neighborhood for years.
They broke the door to get in, and I heard they say that the mother of the kids, they were smelling gas since yesterday. The alarm was ringing, and she thought maybe I need a battery to something.
The fire department estimates the leak had been a problem for at least 12 hours before they got the call, but it doesn't appear there were working carbon monoxide detectors in the home.
It's extremely important that we have CO detectors throughout the house on all levels, basement, first floor, and in the attic space.
For 18 months, the COVID-19 pandemic has consumed our country. President Biden announced new federal requirements for as many as 100 million Americans to help curb the latest surge in cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. But as Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor reports, there's growing opposition to complying with the mandates. She's keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
It shouldn't be a federal government one-size-fits-all.
Republican governors across the country are attacking President Biden's new plan to require vaccinations or weekly COVID testing at large employers.
We talked about the fact that we've historically had vaccination requirements in schools, but those have always come at the state level.
The federal rules apply to businesses with more than 100 employees and workers at health facilities that receive federal Medicare or Medicaid dollars, along with executive branch employees and federal contractors. On NBC's Meet the Press, Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson said he supports vaccinations, but argued the mandates won't work.
The problem is that I'm trying to overcome resistance, but the president's actions in a mandate hardens the resistance.
Several of the Republican governors, along with the Republican National Committee, are threatening to sue the Biden administration over these executive orders, calling them unconstitutional.
Certainly, this wouldn't have been put forward if the president of the administration didn't believe that it was an appropriate legal measure to take.
On ABC's This Week, U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy defended the new mandates, not only from a public health perspective, but also an economic one.
We know that these kind of requirements actually work to improve our vaccination rates.
Murthy warned the battle against the pandemic will be won or lost, depending on whether more Americans take the shot in the coming weeks. In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
Now, your first warn weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
It's some rain showers out there, but mostly to the north of us throughout much of the day. An increase in cloud cover from some of those showers and thunderstorms that did produce some severe weather further north across Wisconsin. All responsible because of a cold front passing to the south. That front now pulling just a little further to our south here this evening. But with a more active flow in the jet stream up to the north, moving in from Iowa and Wisconsin, that's where we're likely going to see most of the activity here as we go through the night tonight. Now, there is going to be an isolated shower thunderstorm, mostly near the state line as we head through the night tonight and into the morning hours tomorrow. Temperatures are still fairly warm this evening at 70 in Freeport, 71 in Rockford, 73 in Dixon. You're in the 50s a little bit further to the north, and those numbers will stay in the lower 60s, or I should say lower 60s to the north, and that's where we'll stay here as we go through the night tonight. That cold front kind of stalling out a little bit to our south. By about 8, 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, there is an upper level disturbance that'll be working in from the west, so I do think that'll give us our better chance to see an isolated shower or thunderstorm, but mostly here across the state line during the morning hours tomorrow. After that, the afternoon is looking to stay fairly dry, and temperatures should be able to get back into the mid, even upper 80s. But notice where that boundary stalls out. So I'm talking to you folks in southern Wisconsin. You might still stay in the 70s for tomorrow afternoon, while we could be getting close to 88, 89 degrees for some during the day tomorrow. So kind of a temperature range during the afternoon. We'll stay fairly mild as we go through the night Monday. Tuesday, that front is pulled back north as a warm front. We do get a cold front that comes in during the afternoon on Tuesday, mid and upper 80s for Tuesday afternoon. Cold front comes through. That'll bring us an isolated shower or thunderstorm, but we might see that kind of strengthen a little more as it gets further to our south and southeast during the evening hours on Tuesday. No threat really for any active weather for us tonight, just an isolated shower, and that'll stay with us north, though, of the state line as we go throughout the day tomorrow. Things are pretty quiet for us here this evening. A live look with a Merced Skytrack camera out over downtown Rockford. Still kind of feels muggy. Temperatures for us tonight will dip down into the lower 60s. Tomorrow we're back into the mid 80s as that warm front begins to pull back north, right around 85 degrees for tomorrow afternoon. Both today and yesterday, our temperatures made it into the upper 80s, 88 degrees yesterday. Same thing for this afternoon. And that summer-like pattern is something that is going to continue here as we do go through the remainder of this week. In fact, those temperatures will be climbing quite a bit here. We'll see those numbers stay in the mid and upper 80s. So more of that summer-like pattern throughout this week as a big ridge of high pressure builds across much of the country. We've got a blocking high pressure system down to the south, and that active flow in the jet stream staying up to the north. And that heat could even continue into the following week as well. And we can see that here on our 7-day forecast. Wednesday, our coolest day, as that number gets down to about 80 degrees, or back up to 85 on Thursday. But the numbers by next weekend could be back into the upper 80s.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with David Greenberg.
Well, the return of NFL football had Bears fans all across the country very nervous for their primetime opener against the Rams, but I guess afterwards things could always be worse. I'll let you decide. We wondered how soon we'd see Justin Fields on the field, and how about, well, this is actually the wrong stuff. This is highlights from the Jaguars game today with James Robinson, our Rockford native. He had 5 carries for 25 yards, also corralled 3 catches for 29 yards, as the Jaguars went on to lose big time to the Texans. And let's go to our next highlights for the Packers. They were taking on the Saints from Jacksonville, and in the second quarter, Alvin Kamara punches it into the end zone to make it 10-0. And before the half, Jameis Winston has the snap on 4th and goal. Nothing doing, but the lob to Juwan Johnson is there for the score. 17-0 now. And in the second half, Packers got a field goal looking for more, Aaron Rodgers floats it way behind his target. That's picked off. No points for the Packers. That'd be the first of Rodgers' major errors today. Here's the second from his own end zone, taking a shot deep over the middle into double coverage and at least 10 yards past the receiver. Interception number 2. He had 5 all last season. After that, the Saints blew it wide open. The Packers got pounded 38-3.
It's just one game. You know, we played bad. I played bad. Offensively, we didn't execute very well. One game. We got 16 to go.
Our guys are going to have to take a long, hard look in the mirror. It starts with myself. Obviously, didn't get these guys ready to play ball, and that's what happens when you go out there and play like that against a good football team.
Well, it was Chris Bryant's return weekend to Wrigley for the first time as a San Francisco Giant. The Cubs had been red hot going into the series, but when you play with the team with the baseball's best record, things they just may not go your way. The Cubs had lost their first 2 games of the series. Would they be able to avoid the sweep? Down 3-1, Ian Happ drives one to center. They'll bring them within 1 thanks to his 22nd homer of the season. Let's go to the 7th now, down 6-3. David Bodie, that's a base hit into the corner in left. Alcantara shows off his wheels and comes around from first to score. Add 1 more, it's 6-4. Could they keep it going? Next batter, Robinson Chirinos. There's a bloop single into right. Bodie pushes for the plate. That's a fair ball, and that'll pull the Cubs within 1, but that's all they'd get as the Giants get the sweep, winning this one 6-5. The White Sox were taking on the Red Sox on the south side. Lance Lynn was dealing early on in this one. He had 9 strikeouts through 5 innings of work, but his offense wasn't giving him any help until the 6th when Luis Robert gets the Sox on the board, lines one through the left side. Cesar Hernandez motors around from second. The throw from Kyle Schwarber is cut off and goes to second, but Robert narrowly gets in before the tag. We're all tied up at 1, going to extras. Leury Garcia takes 98 right down the pipe to straightaway center and calls game. The Sox win in extra innings 2-1. That's it for sports. So we'll be right back.
Candace is back with one last look at our forecast, and the heat's not letting up yet.
Yeah, if you're looking for, the fall kind of weather, the sweater weather.
It doesn't feel like football weather yet. No. We have football, but it doesn't feel like it. And for Friday nights, I'm okay with that as long as it's nice and warm.
Right. You want kind of a nice forecast, right, for those Friday nights. But yeah, you're looking for temperatures that are in the 60s and the 70s, and you're not going to get that. We've had 80s here, maybe a rain week 2 of the Friday night football games. Yeah, and for the NFL, it doesn't really feel like the start of it either, at least locally. First warning, interactive radar. We've had some shower activity up to the north here tonight. That's where most of it is going to stay through much of this evening. Isolated shower thunderstorm for the first half of Monday, straight 80s through the end of the week.
Well, thanks for making us your home team. Have a great night.